It's begun. Cell control frequencies. Yesterday we talked about tuning. Pretty much it's begun the frequency tuning, and this is a follow-up to that video of what's going on. We're in a crazy reality here, and there's more data now out talking about how living DNA robots can control cells in a different form or way now that we got information on. And also, at the Travis Scott concert, people have come out and said that they were hit with a high pitch frequency. So thanks for tuning in here live today to JWTV. We appreciate all your support. We're about to get down into it. But first, we told you yesterday it was a gigantic hack on the U.S. government, technology sectors, and everything else. And now sheriffs are waking up to Mao Zedong on their Facebook. Hot chickadee chicken. And so they were hacked, and also footage is being released. Here's Mao Zedong, and it says "Destroy America." And so this is the ongoing sequence of the hacks that we're going through right now. What's going on, everybody? What's going on from Ohio? What's going on? Pretty much Kenny. What's going on, Lynn? Appreciate all y'all for tuning in. We're going to get down into some deep information. So that was one. Clay County Sheriff Office was hacked, and then you also had hackers just leaked nearly 2 terabytes of police helicopter footage. This was in. It says, "Are we in a surveillance state?" Of course, we're in a surveillance state, and this was in areas of like Texas and stuff like that. Dallas Police Department to Georgia State Patrol. Much of the footage is conventional law enforcement videos, like aerial videos of squad cars pulling over other cars onto the shoulder of the highway. So basically, they got some of the tactics that they're already using now. So now they're under surveillance. The data has been given over, and now we're entering an age of the craziest times ever. But that doesn't mean that it's not still people willing to stand up against a tyranny like me and you. Now, detoxing is very important, and when we get into this, we'll give you some tips on how to pretty much go through the society now today. But I want to get you into the big topic here that leads us into it. And we talked about this yesterday. It's crazy because my first thing in my head was that they were hit with frequencies before this even came out. And now Travis Scott Astroworld investigation fans detail disturbing high frequency sounds that play leading up to stampedes. So yesterday we were telling you about human frequency tuning, and so he's getting sued left and right everywhere. And so it was people saying that blood was coming out of people's nose, they couldn't breathe, oxidation issues. We're finna get into all of the detailed information here. So how crazy is it, huh? Move on into it here. Before we get into it, I told you the movie Cell made me pretty much. I thought about the movie Cell. Play this clip real quick. He walks, and then he's in the crowd because he thought that he would see his son again, and that's him right there, head left and right. So why am I showing this? Is because that's gonna be you if you continue to be a zombie slave, walking down because I just want to be with the crowd. But anyway, let's get into the big heavy information here. This is something new here as well, so I want to take you into it. DNA robot takes cells on a walk. Okay, so a DNA robot that can walk across biological cell membranes is the first one that can control living cells behavior. So the researchers who made the robot hoped that it could improve cell-based precision medicine. A team led by Hong Kong Hui Wang Zui Nai from Human University. Like going, it was getting dark in here. So anyway, China has created a synthetic molecular robot that walks along outer membrane of biological cells. The robot, powered by an enzyme, catalytic activity, transverses across receptors that act as stepping stones on the cell surface. With each step, the robot activates a signal pathway that regulates cell migration. Driven by the robot's movement, the cells can reach speeds of 24 UM an hour. So the researchers write that DNA robot offers the first time an opportunity to accurately and predictively control the nanoscale operations that power a live cell. And they're saying it could just walk through your body, it could do that, it could control your cells and everything else. But that's not even the biggest thing we want to talk about. But we're talking about this because how else could you be activated to act in weird ways? Not just frequency tuning, but we got some more information on frequency tuning coming up here in just a second. Check this out, and I'm gonna read this article to you, but I'm gonna put something in the background so you don't have to just see words, but when it come up to the slides, we'll get to it. Magnetic fields for modulating the nervous system. Remember, everybody was talking about the big magnetic trend about how, you start seeing stuff and, hey, what's going on? And hey, are you magnetic? Oh my God, you're magnetic. No, never mind. You're not magnetic. That's just all conspiracy. But anyway, let's talk about this. This ain't okay. This ain't it. Okay, this is the real deal. Magnetic fields for modulating the nervous system, although targeted actuation of neurons via magnetic fields may benefit neuroscience research and medicine, they say. And it has sparked controversy. So check this out. I'm gonna read this article to you, but meanwhile, I'm just gonna let this be in the background. Back into the article, and it says technologies for stimulating neurons are poised to become increasingly significant, yet presently employed methods have serious drawbacks, as is so often the case for biomedical technology. Today's innovations will appear primitive in the not too distant future. And so it goes in to say deep brain stimulation is conducted primarily by inserting millimeter-sized electrodes that are powered by devices implanted in the body. Although effective at offering relief for patients, such drastic measures are justifiable in only extreme cases. Technology for more commonplace neuron stimulation, whether for experiments in model organisms or clinical therapy in humans, should be non-invasive or minimally invasive, wireless, able to access regions deep in the brain, spatially targeted and selective to partial cell types. Goes down. Now I want you to see this right here, as I just got done reading that. So I want you to see back into the article when we go down in the slides now, where they're going to be talking about what's going on here. Additionally, magnetic stimuli from vast possibility space indicated in figure 1 quasi magnetostatic fields at the human scale can rotate, pulse, or oscillate with characteristic frequencies ranging from millihertz to megahertz. Spatially, the fields can uniform, possess gradients, exhibit points of vanishing magnitude. So look at this article right here. It shows you, and it says large and diverse parameter space for engineering magnetic stimuli. What are they talking about? Stimulation of the neurological system of your body, of your nerves. Goes in to say distributions of field strengths such as uniformity, high gradients, and vanishing points also offer various functionalities. The relative magnetic field magnitude is plotted for radical cross sections of several geometries with cylindrical symmetry. So what we're dealing with here is exactly what it says. We're dealing with modulation of nervous systems now. And when you see when people get hit with frequencies and they start acting weird. And one other thing. Here's the other thing that I was going to show you right here. This confirms even more. NanoWork put out the article. And electromagnetic interference shielding with graphene composites for 5G and beyond communications technology. So obviously they're using that for communication technology. Obviously, when you get hit, and it says something about oxidation issues and stuff like that. So what happened to people? Oh, well, we couldn't hardly breathe and stuff like that. Again, I'm not making assertions of this is what happened, but I'm just making assertions to the point of the technology that's been put out and the stuff that we're talking about and the weirdness that's going on right now. Okay. And how do you deflect from all this stuff? And that's another thing we'll talk about. Scalar waves is important. I talked about scalar waves. And if you're working out next in gyms, it's a study came out the University of Israel, something like that. It came out and it talks about how people absorb this stuff in their skin layers. So when you absorb it into your skin layers, you become highly more conductive And exactly, they're using this interference waves electromagnetically with the graphene composites to 5G, and it's communicating. Okay, so I mean, I can break this down even further, but I want to go to the part where it goes into oxidation. However, metallic shields are heavy and prone to oxidation, resulting in corrosion. Increase in temperature also leads to degradation of EMI shielding by metals composite with metal filters. And it goes in to say, in the X band frequency band, graphene composites have also been tested for performance at elevated temperatures, demonstrating properties superior to other composites with conductive metal fillers. Happening as you see the waves come in right there, and then they want to shield the graphene so that the waves bounce off, essentially saying that they're trying to not have it being attacked or damaged or, corroded inside of whatever it's in, or a human or whatever. So this is the crazy aspect of what we're dealing with. And it says develop lightweight adhesive composites with graphene fillers can be used as electromagnetic absorbers. You hear that? What is electromagnetic absorbers? Human beings, people. Okay? When we go in front of these big things and audiences, crowds, and even if you have earphones in your ears, you're absorbing those waves and it changes your brainwave patterns. I know this stuff because I've studied it. Going into it even further, it says as electromagnetic absorbers in high frequency microwave radio relays, microwave remote sensors, millimeter wave scanners, and wireless local area networks, explains Baladin. The excellent electromagnetic shielding and heat conductive characteristics of such graphene composites at elevated temperatures are promising for packaging applications of microwave components where electromagnetic shielding and thermal management are important design considerations. So pretty much telling you how it's being used, what's being used from, what it interacts with. It's literally crazy, because as we get into this more and more, you're gonna find out more intel and more information about all this stuff. And so again, people in the comments will give you stuff about detoxing and getting heavy metals out of your body. What I use is nascent iodine. What I use is radioactive shedding materials like bentonite clay and all these other things, because the thing is, it's so much that you have to detox right now. And if you don't, you become an array, you become an antenna, and you become part of the transmission that absorbs. Only lots of studies that if humans get away from the cell phone, get away from the cell towers, and you go out to nature, your body heals more. What else heals you more is if you have activated carbon in your house. So activated carbon is something I always have because my air filter has that in there, and it's important to have that because continuously while you're getting hit with all the technology, you have to have something cleaning out that atmosphere, and that's why I have RF shielding as well. So thanks for tuning in. We'll have more information coming. If I need to cover more, please let me know, and give people helpful information in the comments, everybody, because this is the community where we fight back together, and we also talk about all these different topics to discover what are they really doing. The Internet of Bodies is what they're doing, and the Internet of Bodies is something, in my opinion, that is already being waged upon us. So again, I mean, they already said it at World Economic Forum anyway. So that's what they've said. Thanks for tuning in. We have more reports, and if you missed the one yesterday, we'll have that video after this video. Thanks for tuning in.